Hey everyone, a very good morning to all of you guys. Welcome to the Finance Current Affairs session. So, we'll be revising the Finance Current Affairs of March 2026 month in this particular video. This is the part 1. Part 2 is also there, right? So, half we will cover in this particular session, and the rest of the half we'll be covering it in the next session. A very good morning to all of you guys. Welcome to the class here. I hope your preparation is going well. Very good morning. So let's quickly start the discussion, guys. At the same time, I'll be guiding you how you can cover quickly finance current affairs. Why? Because I understand that so many of you guys are having backlog in the finance current affairs, and it is easily doable. It is easily doable. Even if you are able to watch all the sessions, these sessions or the sessions that are already assigned in your course, both will work. Okay. So good morning, guys. Let's quickly start the discussion. The very first news, guys, is related to the IRFC raises JPY equivalent USD 400 million external commercial borrowing. It is nothing but as good as a borrowing only. It is an external commercial borrowing. That means I'm not borrowing the money within India. I'm borrowing the money from outside India, right? So here the IRFC. What is IRFC? Indian Railway Finance Corporation Limited has signed a loan agreement. So it is as good as a loan only. It is as good as an external loan only. But the lender is from not in India, right? The lender is from outside India. So this company has signed a loan agreement to raise an external commercial borrowing facility worth JPY equivalent to Japanese yen. JPY means Japanese yen, right? USD 400 million with a consortium of Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, SMBC. Right, so what you guys have to remember here is the concept of external commercial borrowing. We borrow money from outside India and not in India, right? At the same time, the name of the organizations IRFC and SMBC, right? So this marks IRFC's second overseas external commercial borrowing. So previous to that also, this company has already raised some external commercial borrowing. Now the problem with the external commercial borrowing is, can you guys tell me the problem with external commercial borrowing? Whenever I raise money from outside India in foreign currency, what is the problem? Any idea? Definitely there are a lot of benefits as well. But what is the main issue with these external commercial borrowings? Anyone? Issue with the external commercial borrowing, guys. I am raising money in foreign currency. That is a big problem for me. Why? Because I am exposed to the foreign currency risk now, right? Let's suppose when I am borrowing the money, $1 is equal to 80 rupees, right? So for buying that $1, I have to give 80 rupees in the market. But what if at the time of repayment, the same dollar is equal to 100 rupees now, right? So if I have to pay that $1, earlier I have to pay only 80 rupees. Now I have to pay 100 rupees for the same. This is a forex risk, foreign exchange risk. This is a problem with the external commercial borrowing. Now, external commercial borrowing is a part of your static syllabus, but this news is a part of your dynamic course, right? Next one is NSE International Exchange Global Access Platform sees a strong early adoption. Now, what is this NSE International Exchange? Acha, can you guys tell me what is an NSE? National Stock Exchange. NSE is a stock exchange. National Stock Exchange is a stock exchange. Now, what I can do with a stock exchange, I can buy and sell securities. I can buy and sell securities in the Indian market. In the Indian market. So let's suppose I want to invest in some company like Reliance Industry, Adani Enterprise. What I can do is I can open an account with a stockbroker. That stockbroker will be placing orders on my behalf to the stock exchanges, right? To the stock exchange. So can I say that for the domestic buy and sell of securities, I can definitely use the NSE, National Stock Exchange. But what if I want to invest internationally? I don't want to invest in Reliance Industry in India. I want to invest in Google. I want to invest in Microsoft, I want to invest in Meta, I want to invest in Tesla. Is it possible? Definitely it is possible, but not via NSE, but via NSE IX, which is called as NSE International Exchange. International Exchange, right? So now with the help of this particular stock exchange, I can invest even in the US equity market, right? I can even invest in the US equity market. So if you also want to invest in US equity market, you need to first register yourself with the NSE International Exchange with any stockbroker who is registered with the NSE International Exchange. Nowadays, we are having so many applications like Vested, like IND Money, etc., etc. Now, all these applications are ultimately registered with the NSE International Exchange to sell you the stocks which are not out of India, which are based out of United States of America, like Amazon, like Microsoft and so on, Meta. So digital onboarding will be there. Now, what you have to remember, guys, here that the international arm of NSE is NSE IX, a very famous one and important for your examination. Please do remember the name of this organization, NSE IX, right? So fractional investing is also allowed. Now in India, if I want to buy shares of Reliance Industry, I have to at least buy one share. Say for example, the stock price of MRF, it is the most expensive share of India, right? MRF is the most expensive share of India. It is around 1,50,000 something. So if I want to just buy one share of MRF, I need to pay 1,50,000. Now that's not possible for all the investors, right? So in US also there is a concept of fractional investing. Here is the example of Meta. Now Meta means your Facebook. Earlier it was called as Facebook. If you guys remember, the name of the company was Facebook. So one share is 667. This is in USD. So even if I take the exchange rate for the sake of simplicity as 100, you are having 6600. That means one share is almost 66,000, right? Now I need 66,000 to just buy one share. I can even buy it for 500 rupees. Why? Because of the fractional concept. Because of the fractional shares concept. I can even buy fractional shares. Just 0.5, 0.10, 0.20 of the share. It's not a compulsion in the US equity to buy at least one share. I can even buy fractional shares. I can even buy it for 500, 1000, 10,000 and so on, right? So that's the concept here of fractional investing and how these transactions are being undertaken. Now RBI is allowing you guys to invest money in the offshore markets outside India as well through LRS. What is LRS? Liberalized Remittance Scheme. Can you guys tell me the limit of the liberalized remittance scheme in the comment section, everyone? Quickly in the comment section. Don't worry about the wrong answer. Tell me the LRS limit as of now in India for medical treatment, for investment purpose, or for any other purpose. I can transfer my money, I can invest my money outside India as well, right? So I am also an investor in the US equity market. I aggressively buy tech stocks in the United States of America. Yes, very good, Pallavi. $250,000 is the limit. Now you have to remember this limit. So RBI is giving you an opportunity via the LRS liberalized remittance scheme, which allows a resident individual to remit up to $250,000, right? $250,000. So you can even make investments worth rupees $250,000. That's the upper cap. That is the limit. Beyond that, you can't invest. Beyond that, you can't invest. Okay, so please do remember this concept of LRS and the entity NSE International Exchange allowing you to invest in the US equity market as well nowadays. Next one, launch of an agentic AI platform for in-call UPI payment. GNANI.ai and Razorpay. Now, an Indian startup, Janani.ai, has partnered with Razorpay, which is also a fintech player, right? Which is also a leading fintech player. Now, through this AI-powered payment system, you can initiate and complete the UPI transaction, during the live customer call itself, right? So it's an AI-powered platform. It's an AI-powered agentic platform where you just have to give instructions and automatically the payment will be done during the live customer call itself, right? So all these things are part of agentic AI. Now, what do you mean by agentic AI? Earlier, if I have to do a task, I need at least 5 to 10 people. Now I need 5 to 10 agents. I can create multiple agents for the same. HR ka different agent, marketing different agent, finance different agent, right? So that's how agentic AI works. So you just have to remember the name of the platforms. That's it. You just have to remember the names of the platform and what is the crux of that particular news, right? This one is definitely important for your examination from the dynamic as well as from the static part of your syllabus. Dual listing of these Sri Lanka's dual listing of the Sri Lanka's first blue bond. Now, what is a blue bond, guys? Anyone in the comment section quickly? What's a blue bond? Any idea? Acha guys, I will try to keep these sessions in a very exam relevant manner. Okay. So I won't be stretching for hours. I will be definitely trying my best to keep it as short as I can and cover almost everything which can be asked in your phase 1 as well as phase 2 examination. Acha, what is a blue bond? Any idea, guys? Anyone? What's a blue bond? Blue bond. Come on, guys, quickly in the comment section. Now, just like you have green bond. Green bond is for your environment friendly projects. Yes, very good. Very good. That's for your marine and water projects. That's for your marine and water resources, coastal ecosystem, clean water access, sustainable use of water, right? So let's suppose I want to raise money. I want to raise money for clean water project. Then I will issue my blue bond for it. I will issue my blue bond for it, right? So it is a subset of green bond only. Please do remember green bond is a wider terminology. Blue bond is a part of green bond. Blue bond is a part of green bond. Okay, so green bond is broadly related to environment and water is one such thing within the environment. So blue bond is specifically for the water, right? So Sri Lanka's first ever blue bond was issued by DFCC Bank PLC. So the country name is Sri Lanka. It is issued by DFCC Bank. And it has been dually listed. What do you mean by listed dually? That means 2 times on the Colombo Stock Exchange and now on the international IX also. International NSE, international IX also, right? Which is situated in the Gujarat city, our gift city, right? Our gift city. So dual listing was facilitated through the cooperation between the NSE IX. Now, what is NSE IX? We have already discussed, and the Colombo Stock Exchange. Now, what is a blue bond? It's a type of sustainable debt instrument, right? So I want to raise finance via a debt instrument for the marine activities, for the water related activities, for the conservation sustainable water projects, or for clean water access. Then what I can do is I can issue blue bond and I can raise money, right? So please do remember this particular news, and blue bonds are specialized subset of green bonds, right? So the amount was anywhere around 3 billion in the Sri Lankan rupees. Okay, even if you know this much, that will be more than enough. Broadly, the concept of blue bond is important from this particular news, right? Broadly, the concept of blue bond is important from this particular news, and Sri Lanka is the first country to do this particular thing in India in the gift city. Okay, so that's your finance current affairs, and what is blue bond will be static part of your syllabus. Revision in India's GDP growth rate. Now, guys, again and again, these revised estimates are there. So you have to only study the recent data, not this one. Not this one. You have to only study recent data, right? So the data, your exam is scheduled in the month of June. So the May end data you will be studying for your examination. The May end data you will be studying for your examination, right? India forex reserve declined by this much by the end of February 2026. Now this is a old news. You have to study the new data of May month. You have to study the new data of the May month, right? So don't just try to kind of learn each and every terminology, learn each and every figure from the news. Why? Because this is a news of February month, was covered in the month of March. It was released in the month of March. Now it is not relevant for your examination. So only the static part of this news is relevant for your examination, not the finance current affairs part. GST collection in February, no need to cover this one. You have to cover the data related to May month. Related to May month. Right? So don't put too much pressure on your brain, because that's not required for the examination, right? You don't have to remember the old data. You don't have to remember the old data. Data wise, you have to remember only three things: the financial year end data, recent data of May month, right? Or in case if there is any sudden spike or sudden decline during the entire financial year, that data. That's it, right? Nothing else. India Japan renew the $75 billion bilateral currency swap agreement. Now, what is the meaning of this currency swap? Two countries have entered into a currency swap agreement, right? What's the meaning of it? Let's suppose if India needs US dollar, Japan will supply it, or any other currency, not just US dollar. If Japan needs US dollar, India will supply it. That's what the meaning of bilateral currency swap agreement is. A currency swap agreement is a financial agreement between the two central banks, Central Bank of India and Central Bank of Japan, that allows them to exchange their domestic currencies for the US dollars. So let's suppose I want to trade something from Japan. So I need Japanese yen. I need Japanese yen. So I can ask for Japanese yen from Japan. Now I have US dollars or any other currency. I will give that currency to Japan for the time being, and I will take Japanese yen. I will take Japanese yen. Now I have Japanese yen. So I can use the Japanese yen to buy anything in Japan, right? To do the trade, to do the business. So it's a kind of bilateral swap agreement. You don't have to forcefully buy currencies. You can just swap your currencies, right? You can just swap your currencies, right? So that's a bilateral swap agreement. Now you need to know about this particular news, that India has entered into an agreement with Japan, and it has renewed the agreement worth rupees $75 billion bilateral currency swap agreement. Important for your examination, right? Just a quick understanding of this one will also be more than enough. Again, this will strengthen the financial safety net. Why? Because let's suppose Japan wants INR, we will definitely give INR in exchange of some other currency. If we want Japanese yen, we'll be getting that Japanese yen in exchange of some other currency. So I can say that a quite cooperative environment is there between both the countries, and high level of flexibility is there if you can access the foreign currency via a swap. Next one, HSBC, International Financial Services, partners with India INX. Now, what is this India INX? India INX is a wholly owned subsidiary of the India International Exchange. Now, just like we have NSE IX, we also do have India International Exchange, right? Now, this platform enables the Indian investors to access the global equity. So let's suppose you want to invest in USA, you want to invest in China. So this particular stock exchange will help you access the foreign markets as well. So both these entities have partnered with each other to expand the global investing through the gift city, right? So it is a collaboration of HSBC, IBU, and the India INX for expanding the global investing network. Nowadays, there is a huge scope of global investments, right? Why? Because everyone is quite interested in invest in US equity market. Even I am doing that, right? So people are now interested in exploring the foreign markets as well. They don't want to just kind of limit their potential to the Indian market, but they want to invest in the foreign equities as well. So that's why there are so many partnerships, right? Now guys, in the extra dose that I always cover on YouTube as well, extra dose is nothing but the news which is a low priority news as compared to the things that I cover in my regular session. So have a look. SBI Life partners with Servam to power smarter services to the 8 crore policy holders. Now SBI Life is again and again doing so many agreements with so many partnerships with multiple entities, so it is not possible to remember each and every stuff, right? So what you can do for the extra dose, just give it a quick reading, right, of the headlines and the crux of the news, and that's it. You don't have to read line by line for the extra news. It's a low priority news. Launch of AI powered Geo Finance mobile app Finsider. Now Geo Finance has launched a mobile application which is called as Finsider. Now guys, there are so many debit cards, credit cards, facilities, mobile applications every day been launched by different organizations, that it is practically not possible for you guys to remember each and every stuff. It is a low priority news, right? Just reading the headlines and the introductory part of these news will also be fine. Okay, so don't put too much pressure on your brain related to the extra news. You just have to read the highlights, the headlines, and the introductory part of it. Central Bank of India partners with Canara Robeco for mutual fund distribution. Now Central Bank of India has partnered with a AMC. This is a AMC. Acha, what is a AMC, guys? Anyone? What's an AMC? What is the full form of an AMC? Don't say annual maintenance charge, okay? I'm talking about in the mutual fund world. What is the full form of AMC? Anyone? Quickly, guys. Don't make it a pravachan class. You have to be interactive during the class. Otherwise, it will become a pravachan only. Asset management company. Very good, Vidya. Asset management company. Now, why do we call these companies as asset management company? Let's suppose I have invested 1 crore in mutual fund. So if I have invested 1 crore rupee in mutual fund, some companies, their mutual fund company, we call it as asset management company. Why? Because this company is actually managing my assets. This company is actually managing my assets. That's why we call them as asset management company. So Central Bank of India, only the headline will also work. Central Bank of India has partnered with Canara Robeco, which is a mutual fund company, also known as asset management company, for the mutual fund distribution. Now that's just a partnership. Even the headline will work. You don't have to read line by line. If you are reading line by line related to the extra dose as well, you guys will be in a big trouble. Why? Because there is so much to learn. There is so much to learn. And we don't have to remember each and everything. Even if we are reading each and everything, we can't take that content to the examination hall. Why? You'll be over occupied with things, and that's not required for the examination. You don't have to be over occupied, right? In such a short period of time, you have to aggressively study rather than slowly line by line studying. That won't work for the examination, at least this time. Okay, so be quick always. Now guys, we'll be covering the news for the next month related to March. So this is in the second week of March that I have taken. IRDAI proposes adoption of Indian accounting standards financial reporting from 1st April 2026. Very important for your examination. Very important. Why? Someday the banks have to also adopt the Indian accounting standards, and they have already started indirectly adopting the Indian accounting standards. Though we don't have any exclusive explicit information from the Reserve Bank of India side related to the adoption of the Indian accounting standards, but we can see nowadays. Acha, there is a new model for the NPA. Can you please tell me the name of that new model? I have released a YouTube video as well on it few days back only. Any idea? What's the name of that model which recently RBI has published in the income recognition norms, in the prudential norms in the month of April? So earlier we used to follow a model, incurred loss model. So let's suppose I have given a loan to Mr. A 1 crore rupee. I'm a bank. Mr. A is not paying me the money. So I treat it as a NPA. So first I wait for the person to default. That's an incurred loss model, right? ECB though is external commercial borrowing. What about that model? E is correct. CB is not correct, Pallavi. Expected credit loss model, ECL model, right? ECL model. How many of you know about ECL model? It's a 3-step model, guys, which is super important for your examination. It will be covered in the April month. It will be covered in the April month RBI circulars. Expected credit loss model. Now, from where this expected credit loss model came into picture? It's a part of your Indian accounting standards. It's a part of your Indian accounting standards. So Ind AS 109 related to financial instrument. RBI has adopted this ECL model from Ind AS 109 or from IFRS 9, which is called as financial instruments. Now they can directly ask you this question in the examination: from where expected credit loss model Reserve Bank of India has adopted? The ECL model has been adopted by Reserve Bank of India from which law? IFRS 9, or in the Indian context, I can say Ind AS 109. One of the same thing only. The name of the Indian accounting standard in IFRS is financial instruments. Very, very important for your examination, guys. This news is very, very important for your examination. मैं बना रहा होता पेपर तो सबसे पहला यही क्वेश्चन देता. Why? RBI has already started adopting the concepts of Indian accounting standards. If not Indian accounting standards, then at least the concepts of Indian accounting standard. Ultimately, all the banks have to follow it, right? And you can see that IRDAI, Insurance Regulator of India, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, has already proposed the adoption of Indian accounting standards for all the insurance companies, whether it is a life insurer or a general insurer company. From 1st April 2026, all the insurance companies have to follow Indian accounting standards if you are crossing the threshold, right? So the threshold of Indian accounting standard also becomes important. Acha, can you guys tell me the threshold of Indian accounting standard? It's not like that all the companies have to follow Indian accounting standards. Only big corporate entities have to follow Indian accounting standards. Can you tell me the threshold? Anyone? Any idea about the threshold, guys? I have covered it almost 3 to 5 times in my regular sessions in the finance current affairs sessions. I hope you will be easily able to answer it. Very good, guys. 250 crore. So is it really 250 crore? Or 250 crore is one of the part of the threshold? Look, when I talk about accounting standards, Indian accounting standards, IFRS, accounting standards are part of India, right? Indian accounting standards are also part of India. So large companies who are crossing the threshold will have to follow Indian accounting standards. Rest of the companies will be continuing following the accounting standards in India. But what is IFRS? International Financial Reporting Standards. Now, most of the countries outside India are following the IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. They can even ask you the full form of it. Then don't tell me that, sir, it is out of course. No, it is not out of course. I have covered it in my static class. I'm even covering it in my dynamic class. International Financial Reporting Standards. From where ECL model has been adopted? IFRS 9, Ind AS 109. Please do remember. These things they can directly ask you in the examination, guys. Very, very important. Okay, guys. IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. Now, let's suppose if someone from IFRS are derived from UK, United Kingdom, okay? Then most of the countries have eventually adopted the IFRS, and India's are also based on IFRS only. We use a word convergence. We have converged the IFRS to create India's in India. These are nothing but the accounting standards, the way I do accounting. This is just a standard of doing accounting, right? So just for the purpose of standardization, just for the purpose of bringing more and more transparency to compete with international regulatory bodies, we do have Indias, right? Because we want to work on global standards. We want our accounting to be at least at par with the global standards. So let's suppose Mansi is from outside India. Mansi is from UK. She wants to invest in my company. Why she will invest? She don't understand accounting standard. She understand IFRS. Now if I am following Indian accounting standard, INDAS, then she will definitely she will definitely invest in my company. Why? Because INDAS are based out of IFRS only. I have copy pasted IFRS as per my own requirements in India. And that's what we do, right? We Indians are great in copy pasting things, and that's what we did to the IFRS, right? Instead of creating our own set of rules and regulations, what we did is we copied the IFRS and we say that we have converged it. So convergence is a professional way of saying something like I have copy pasted a thing. Okay, so we have converged IFRS. Fun apart. So we have converged IFRS and we have created Indian accounting standards now, right? Which is based on the IFRS only. So now people from different countries are able to understand my financial data, my accounting data. Why? Because they are also following IFRS, and Indians are also a copy of IFRS only. Please do remember the word convergence. Convergence. Okay. That's the applicability criteria of Indian accounting standard. Do I have to compulsory follow Indian accounting standards? No. Only if I'm crossing the threshold. Only if I'm crossing this threshold, then only I have to follow the Indian accounting standard. All the listed company, or even if you are in the process of being listed. So if you are a listed company like Adani and Ambani, you have to compulsorily follow Indian accounting standard. Or even if you have filed for an IPO, you are in the process of being listed, you have to apply Indian accounting standards. All the companies which are not listed but having the net worth value of 250 crore or more. You have a net worth value of 250 crore or more, great. You have to follow Indian accounting standards. All the NBFCs, non-banking financial companies having net worth of 250 crore or more have to compulsorily follow the Indian accounting standards. Sir, what about bank? RBI has deferred the implementation for the Indian accounting standards. Why? Because there are so many complexities involved. But slowly you can see that in the RBI circulars, we can see referencing of Indian accounting standards and IFRS, like the ECL model, expected credit loss model, right? So you can definitely expect that soon RBI is already on the track of implementation of INDAS. That's why they have started adopting the methodology of the Indian accounting standards in the RBI circular itself, like ECL model, right? So eventually banks have to adopt the Indian accounting standards if they are crossing this threshold. Insurance companies, IRDAI has earlier postponed, but from 1st April 2026, all the insurance companies crossing the threshold will have to adopt Indian accounting standards, and that's what the news is. That's what the news is. Now, guys, this is the dynamic part of your syllabus, right? And this is the static part of your syllabus. So though the name of the class is Finance Current Affairs, but I try to touch the static portions as well. Otherwise, this particular portion I teach in the basics of accounting and financial statements, right? In the very first, or maybe in the 4-5 classes, in the initial 4-5 classes, I teach this concept. But I'm trying my best to cover the static portion, a bit of static portion as well, though I won't be able to complete the entire static portion in a dynamic class. The name of the class is Finance Current Affairs, right? For the static understanding, you have to watch the static lectures. It is not practically possible to cover each and everything in every class. Still, I will try my best to at least cover the crux of the static portion in these classes, so that you guys can relate with the static concepts At the same time, you are strong with the dynamic concepts as well. Acha, any queries as of now, guys? Anyone? Any queries or all clear? Let me know in the comment section. Don't make it a pravachan. Keep on interacting with me. Right? Clear? Any queries? Perfect. मजा आ रहा है सबको अभी तक पढ़ के? कुछ डिफिकल्ट तो नहीं लग रहा? There is no such difficult thing in the syllabus, guys. We can easily cover the finance, current affairs, RBI circulars. Not to worry. We have adequate time for the coverage. Right? Next news, again important for your examination. SEBI deploys AI tool Sudarshan. AI tool Sudarshan to monitor the influencers and remove 1.2 lakh misleading posts. Now this 1.2 lakh will not come in your examination. But what tool SEBI has deployed to monitor the influencers can definitely be asked in your examination. AI tool Sudarshan. The purpose? To monitor the influencers. So SEBI has intensified its monitoring related to the finance content and social media, because we can see that so much of fake news related content and unnecessary content is there on the Instagram and YouTube and so many social media platforms. Every chapri YouTuber is nowadays creating content and guiding people what to buy, what not to buy in stock market. Completely nonsense, right? You should be having that proof of work. You should have enough degree to guide people whether what to buy and what not to buy and how to invest, right? So for that, SEBI has deployed a AI tool which is called as Sudarshan, right? For removing the misleading post. For misleading the retail investors, they are creating such clickbait content which is not at all correct, right? Promising the investors to give 20%, 30%, 40% return. So SEBI has deployed a AI tool for that. Now this is an in-house AI tool. This is an in-house AI tool for the surveillance. For the surveillance, and it is designed to monitor large volume of digital content across the social media platform. It will track multilingual content in text, audio, and video to detect the potential violations. Right? Motilal Oswal Home Finance signs 100 million US dollar debt deal with the Asian Development Bank for the women-focused affordable green housing. So just the headline of the news, even if you are able to remember the headline of the news, that will be fine. So Motilal Oswal Home Finance, it's a company, right? It's a company, has signed an agreement with the Asian Development Bank, ADB, to raise up to 100 million US dollar in debt financing. So that's a kind of loan, right? Motilal Oswal Home Finance will use it for the women focused affordable green housing project. Please do remember that this is not just a housing project, this is a green housing project. This is a green housing project. So the housing requirement should be environmentally sustainable as well. It should be environmentally sustainable as well, right? So this is a rupee equivalent through non-convertible debentures. These debentures are not convertible. These debentures are not convertible. Acha, what is convertible, non-convertible debentures? Anyone? Can you guys tell me what is the meaning of convertible and non-convertible debentures? Anybody? How convertible debentures are different from non-convertible debentures? Quickly, guys. Convertible means I can convert this debenture, which is actually a debt only, right? Which is actually a debt only, which is actually a loan for me, into equity. So I have issued debentures to, let's suppose, Ravi, right? I have taken a loan from Ravi, I have issued debentures to him, and eventually I'm not repaying the loan. Instead, I'm issuing my equity instrument, instead I'm issuing my equity shares. I'm taking the debentures and I'm issuing the equity shares to Ravi, right? So that's a convertible debenture. I can convert it to equity. Now, some of the debentures are not convertible and I have to compulsorily repay the debentures. I can't convert it. So that's called as non-convertible. That's a non-convertible debenture, right? That's a non-convertible debenture, and that's what Motilal Oswal Home Finance Company has used. It's a non-convertible debenture. Ultimately, you have to pay to the Asian Development Bank. Just the understanding of headline will also be good enough of this particular news, right? Next one, Bank of Baroda raises 10,000 crore through green infrastructure bonds. The whole idea is to tell you guys, green bonds, green finance, ESG, BRSR. These topics are super duper important for your examination. You can see so many months are full of green news, green finance related news. Okay. So you have to give a special focus on green related finance projects, green bonds related things, ESG related things, BRSR related things, right? So guys, public sector lender Bank of Baroda has raised 10,000 crore through long-term green infrastructure bonds, marking a significant step in the green financing, in the sustainable financing in India. Now, the issuance represents bank's first green infrastructure bond issuance. This is the first green infrastructure bond issuance by Bank of Baroda in the domestic market, right? And one of the largest sustainability linked issue by an Indian bank. Important for your examination. Now in phase 1, how can they ask you the question, which bank has raised 10,000 crore through the green infrastructure bond? The answer is Bank of Baroda, right? What is a green infrastructure bond? They can definitely ask you this as well in the phase 1. Then anything related to sustainability linked bond. So again, Bank of Baroda has issued a bond, but the proceeds of this bond will be used in the infrastructure, in the green infrastructure, for making the environment better in terms of infrastructure, for environmentally sustainable infrastructure projects, right? So it is quite in limelight nowadays. It used to be in the limelight in 2025 also. So in the year 2025 and in the year 2026, we can see a boom in the green finance industry. Okay, that's why it is important for your examination. You may also expect a descriptive question around it, or you may get a question in your phase 1 examination related to the MCQs as well. Right. Next is IRDI approves Alliance Geo Reinsurance and Kiwi General Insurance to start the operation. Now guys, this particular news is important. Alliance Geo Reinsurance. In India, we used to have a monopoly. Sir, these PDFs are different from those that you have sent on Telegram. No dear, that is the same only. That is the same only. Okay. And if you want these PDFs, you can directly download it from your course, right? From the course of Folio Board, because you are already enrolled in the crash course. So when you go to your dashboard, click on your course, select the finance current affairs classes, and in the lecture itself, on the right hand side, you will get an option to download the PDF, right? You can watch the video, plus you can download the PDF from your course itself. Plus the weekly sessions that I have taken of the finance current affairs, this PDF is the same only, right? The news will not change. So this lecture will also not change. Again, I have to repeat each and everything in the classes. Whatever I taught you guys in the weekly sessions will be again covered in this batch in a crash manner, right? So for every week, I take one session on every Thursday. right? In this, I will be taking only 2 sessions on a monthly basis. So say for example, this is March month. So March part 1, March part 2. So those 4 sessions will be covered only in 2 sessions here. So that gives you a time advantage, right? And if you have already covered with in the weekly sessions of the finance current affairs, you will get a compounding effect as well. Why? Because everything you have already studied in the weekly sessions, right? And this will be a good amount of revision for you. Okay, guys. So earlier we used to have a monopoly of GICRE, General Insurance Company Reinsurer. It was broken by the entry of Value Atex Reinsurance Company. IRDI has allowed one more company to engage in the reinsurance business, Value Atex. After that, now there is a news that Alliance Group has partnered with Geo in India to enter into the reinsurance business, and IRDI has approved it. IRDI has approved it. Just a quick understanding of this news will be good enough. Just the headline. SBI launches 500 million social loan to advance women economic empowerment. So SBI has launched USD 500 million loan facility. For what? For the women economic empowerment in India. Even the headline will work. Even the headline will work. Acha, what is a green shoe option? What is a green shoe option? Any idea? What's a green shoe option? This is a 500 million USD loan. What if the demand is of 550 million? Definitely the rest of the 50 million will be facilitated via the green shoe option. That means we will increase the size of the loan if there's a huge demand in the market. Usually these green shoe options are there in the IPO market. Right? Nashik Municipal Corporation issues the first public green municipal bond listed on NSE. Very, very important for your examination. Nashik Municipal Corporation has issued its first green municipal bond. Now, what is green municipal bond? It's nothing but a green bond. So this municipality, this municipal corporation is asking for money from the investors that you can invest in my green municipal bond and will be using this money for the green projects in the municipality, right? So this is definitely a significant step in the municipal financing and sustainable infrastructure funding in India. And this bond has been listed on the National Stock Exchange as well. Important for your examination. So even the municipalities nowadays are using this bond to raise more and more money for the environmentally sustainable projects. Right, so this money will be used in the urban infrastructure projects in the Nashik. Right? Acha, any queries as of now? Now you don't have to read the details of the bonds. Issue size is fine, it is 200 crore that you can read. But the rest of the details, like what is the coupon yield, what is the effective yield, you don't have to go into too much details of that, right? Just a quick understanding of the headline will also work. Any queries or all clear? Are you guys able to understand each and everything? Both the static and dynamic part. And that's how you have to study, guys. We have to study multiple things quickly. Right? And even if sometimes you are not, let's suppose you are doing a self-study and you are not able to understand few points, no worries at all. Just mark it for review and go ahead. Don't feel overwhelmed, or I can say, don't feel the pressure of the examination, rather than mark it for review and go ahead. That's what we have to always do. Right? Let's suppose a particular socket is not working and you are trying to plug in a charger. Right? You are again and again trying to plug in a charger in that socket, which is not working. You don't have to do that again and again. Just plug it off and plug it in the right slot, right? Some other slot. And that's what you have to do in the real life also. You have to always keep moving on. Mark it for review. Even if you are not able to understand some few things, few concepts, just mark it for review and move ahead. Right? Next one, RBI steps up to support the rupee and the bond market amid the oil price volatility. So this is a old news related to March month. So Indian government, RBI has increased the intervention in both the currency market as well as the government bond market. Why? Because of the crude oil prices, the volatility was there in the currency, right? Volatility was there in the currency. And that's why I say that we can intervene in the rupee volatility, right? So what kind of system, what kind of foreign exchange system we do follow for the INR? Is it a fixed system or a floating system, guys? For INR, what system we follow? Is it a fixed system? Have we pegged INR to some other currency, or a floating, completely based on demand and supply? Is it a complete floating or is it complete fixed? Everyone in the comment section, what system we do follow? You can see that RBI is intervening in the rupee market. Do we follow complete fixed or complete floating? That you always should know about the forex markets. How the exchange rates of Indian rupee is calculated. How the exchange rate is determined, guys. Fixed or floating? Fixed is the wrong answer. Floating is also the wrong answer. We use managed float, or which is also called as dirty float, which means INR is determined by the demand and supply forces subject to RBI intervention. RBI can also intervene in this process. So managed float or the dirty float is the system that we follow in India, right? For the exchange rate, for determining the exchange rate. So I hope this is clear, guys. I hope this is clear. So RBI, we can see that in this news, is intervening in the process, right? Acha, then news related to CNG, PNG, LPG was also there at that time. It is still a problem in India as of now. So you have to know the difference between PNG, CNG, LPG, LNG, right? And government has ordered to manage the natural gas supply as well. We have seen that Essential Commodity Act was also invoked to ensure the fair pricing deals, right? So this news again will be important from your general awareness point of view. So there were certain priorities that 100% of the supply will first go for domestic consumption, not for the commercial purpose. Then guys, we were having draft income tax rules, changes in the cash withdrawal limit, deposit limit, PAN based rules were also there. So this is again important. So they are going to be applicable from 1st April 2026. Changes in the cash deposit and cash withdrawal limit. Earlier, when we were depositing the cash in excess of 50,000 in one account in a single day, we have to furnish the PAN. Now that limit is increased to 10 lakh rupees, right? Now that limit is increased to 10 lakh rupees. Higher verification threshold for very large transaction. Now, if I'm doing a very large transaction, let's suppose I'm doing a transaction of deposit or withdrawal in a bank account exceeding 20 lakh rupees in a financial year, then PAN must not only be just quoted. The bank or the post office have also to verify, quote the PAN number. At the same time, verify the PAN number as also. The bank and post office have to verify the PAN number also in case the transaction is exceeding 20 lakh rupees, right? Is exceeding 20 lakh rupees in a financial year. Then property transaction. Again, earlier it used to be 10 lakh. Now it is proposed to be 20 lakh for motor vehicle. If you are buying any motor vehicle, whether a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, if the value of that vehicle is exceeding 5 lakh rupee, you need to furnish the PAN number as well, right? So these updates are there. For the hotel and restaurants payment, earlier the limit used to be 50,000 rupees. Now it is 1 lakh, right? So these things were there in the part of draft income tax rules 2026, and I have released a separate video as well. You just have to cover the major changes from this draft income tax rules, Right, guys? So I'll conclude the discussion for today here itself, and rest of the things I'll be covering it in my part 2. Okay. So in my part 2, I'll be covering the rest of the finance current affairs related to your March month in part 2. So thank you so much, guys, for participating in the live class. Be interactive as much as you can. That's my number one advice. Try to quickly read multiple things. Don't wait for anything. Just try to quickly read the stuff and move to the next topic or the next subject. Whatever you are not able to understand, what you can do is you can mark it for review. You can just reach out to me on Telegram. That is also fine, right? So you can even join my Telegram ID. I'm just dropping that, CA Pratik, PRATEEK Finance. I have just dropped the name of the Telegram ID, CA Pratik Finance, CAPRATEEK Finance. Right, so you can join this particular group as well. I frequently share finance related content on this particular group. So thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Take care. See you soon in the next class. Have a great day, guys.